himself. This attitude has come. Many Hindus love Krishna. How? As a baby, known as Gopala. And a Christian may choose to love Christ as baby Jesus. So that is the way the devotees look upon God, as my child. God is dependent on me. The Srimad Bhagavat, which is the great book for Hindu tradition, describes this relationship between the baby Krishna and his foster mother, Yashoda. What he says, one day when Krishna was still a little baby, some boys saw him eating mud. When his foster mother Yashoda learned of it, she asked the baby to open his mouth. And Krishna opened his tiny mouth, like that. And wonder of wonders, Yashoda saw the whole universe, the earth and heaven, the stars and planets, the sun and the moon, the innumerable beings within the mouth of the baby Krishna. So, he was thinking he is my baby, but he is God. So when his mother came to know that the child was eating mud, as babies do, anything they get, they put into the mouth. So he tried to take out that mud. They says, hey, let me open your mouth. Open. And the baby opened the mouth. And with the open mouth, what he saw? The sun, moon, stars, and the whole universe in the mouth of the baby. And mother was overwhelmed. No? So it is a quotation from Bhagavat. So there is this description. And these are the stars, planets, sun, moon, innumerable beings within the mouth of the baby. For a moment, Yashoda was bewildered, thinking, is this a dream or a hallucination? Or is it a real vision? The vision of my little baby as God Himself? Soon she composed herself and prayed to the Lord of love, may Thou, who hast brought us into the world of Maya, may Thou, who hast given me this sense of consciousness that I am Yashoda, queen of Nanda, the mother of Krishna, bestow Thy blessings upon us. He started praying to the child. Oh Lord of the universe, so you by your inscrutable Maya has brought me here, and you as your mother, earthly mother, and the foster mother, caring mother. So bestow your blessings. The mother is begging for the blessings of Krishna, the baby Krishna. So see, they have two knowledge. He is the Lord of the universe. At the same time, he has become my baby. So this is a very high, exalted relationship. Looking at her baby, she saw him smiling. Then she clasped him to her bosom and kissed him. Yashoda saw him as her own little baby Krishna. Him verily who was and is worshipped as Brahman in the Vedanta. Vedanta student worships as Brahman, God the Absolute. That same God the Absolute, which is the cause of creation of this entire universe, stars, sun, moon, stars, galaxies, he is my baby. He has taken the form of the baby. The universal, is worshipped as Brahman in the Vedanta, is worshipped as the universal self in the Yoga, Paramatma, and the God of love by the devotees. And she found an indescribable joy and happiness in her heart whenever she looked upon him. Suppose you have this vision and look at the child, then what will you see? Your heart will be thrilled with joy. The Lord of the world is my baby. And by overwhelming Maya, mother instantly forgets and sees the lovely child smiling and playing. And mother's heart gets lost into that scene of love. Many women in India throughout the ages have looked upon themselves as Krishna's mother. This is a very common idea. Baby Krishna is my child, my child. In most of the homes, widow mothers, widows, they worship Krishna as their baby Krishna sometimes. Mostly they feed Krishna like that. Gopalu's Ma is the latest example we know very much in the Ramakrishna's association life. The outstanding example is the present day was a woman, disciple of Ramakrishna, who became well known as Gopaler Ma. Ma means mother, Gopaler means of Gopala. Who is Gopala? Krishna, baby Krishna, who became well known as Gopaler Ma. Sister Nivedita Margaret Noble, a disciple of Swamiji, who associated intimately with Gopaler Ma and who retold the stories of her visions of God as Gopalo, writes.
But she used to call Sri Ramakrishna also Gopal.
But Sri Ramakrishna is not Sri Ramakrishna to him. Like Gopalo appeared, because that happened. Ramakrishna also, Gopala Ma, Gopala. Gopala, what he does, as we see in our temple.
I have a Gopal.
So with the three, Gopala is a child, a baby. So baby always asking for sweet. So one day Gopala Ma, mother of Gopala, came from Kamarhati, where she used to live, to see Ramakrishna. And as soon, and she was a very poor lady, so she brought few sweets, very ordinary quality sweets, not very sophisticated or high quality. So she was shy to bring, because many people bring to Ramakrishna so many nice, delicious food. And she's a poor lady. She's coming to see him. And as soon as Gopalama enters, and Ramakrishna, like an old man, he started crawling on the floor and asking, "Hey, what did you bring for me?" Exactly like the Gopala. And Gopala's Ma was in tears, and she said, "Oh, my child, I am a poor mother. What shall I bring for you? This ordinary sweet I have brought." So the child, Ramakrishna will release that. Ramakrishna will not touch other very sweet and very nice uh, cheese balls or rasgulla or sandesh. No, he will not like that. But this ordinary thing, out of love, he became like a child. So to Ramakrishna, to her, Ramakrishna was a Gopala. He should to see, and he used to address him, "Oh Gopala, oh Gopala." To Ramakrishna, he used to address like that. That means God becomes your Gopala, your child. So it's a very pure relationship. Because as I said, in every relationship there is an expectation. I give me you, you give me this. No? That is very common exchange. But there is no such expectation here. It's only giving. You love, love, love. Mother gives the baby only love, affection, and everything. But what baby can give? Baby has nothing to give. But baby's innocence and pure smile, that is fulfills the heart. And when you know this baby appears to be baby, but he's the Lord of the world, how much love will happen. That's why it happened with Ramakrishna also. When Ramakrishna was born in village Kamarpukur, the whole village people used to come and see the moon face of Ramakrishna. What a tremendous attraction. It's like Vrindavan. You read really the story of Ramakrishna in the early childhood, the entire Kamarpukur, all the ladies, young and old, will be fascinated to see Ramakrishna. Even the ladies will make going to fetch some water in the pond. In villages there are ponds, water reservoirs. from where they bring water for their home use, they will make a stop at Ramakrishna's home and look at Ramakrishna and with joy sit sometimes to play with him and then go away. So such an attraction, that is the Krishna's attraction, the Lord. That's why Krishna is called he who attracts, pulls our mind towards him. His attractive power of God is called Krishna. Gopal's mother was an old woman. She had already been old 15 or 20 years before when she had first walked over one day at noon from a cell at Kamarhati by Ganges side to see the master in the garden house of Dakshineshwar. He received her, he meaning Ramakrishna received Gopal's her. So they say, standing at the door, as if he expected her, as if she is coming, and Ramakrishna is standing in the door and waiting for somebody to come, and they met. And she, whose chosen worship has been for many years Gopala, the baby Krishna, the Christ child of Hinduism, saw him revealed to her as in a vision, as he saw here. So he saw as a vision, as if the Lord is in the form of Krishna, Ramakrishna, standing there like Gopala. How true she always was to this. Never. Oh, I am reading from this quotation. I am reading. It is from Nivedita. Nivedita's writing. Nivedita is writing about Gopalasma and saying that she saw in Ramakrishna, the baby Krishna, like the Christ child of Hinduism, and saw him revealed to her as in a vision as she drew near. How true she always was to this. Never once through all the years that followed did she offer salutation to Sri Ramakrishna, who took her thenceforth as his mother. Huh? This Gopala's ma, everyone comes and salutes Ramakrishna because he is the Lord of the universe and people respect him like that. But Gopala's ma never touched the feet of Ramakrishna because he is my baby. How can I do pranam? Who takes pranam? Juniors do pranam to the seniors. That is the Indian tradition. You know? Huh? Touch their feet. But Ramakrishna, everyone coming, such a holy man. Oh, all the Calcutta big guys are coming, Keshav Sen, this, that. They bow in reverence. Girish Ghosh come, bow in reverence. But Gopalama never touched the feet of Ramakrishna. He's my child, he's my baby. But she is senior and Ramakrishna is the junior there.
But she is seeing him as the Lord of the universe, like that though the sadhus are junior to many devotees, the devotees are offering pranam to the junior sadhu event.
That's okay, but he is not like that. He is this emotional side, you have to focus on that. It is a naturalness of mother. Mother does not touch the feet of the son. And he is no more the big guy, Ramakrishna. As I said, all his glories of Ramakrishna as God or spiritual parent or going to ecstasy, he is just a yogi, great yogi. Those are for other people to think. But she is established in that state of Vatsalya Bhava. He is an established person. He is an embodiment of Vatsalya Bhava. So that's why in his behavior, this expression of love appeared like that. How true she always was to this. Never once through all the years that followed did she offer salutation to Ramakrishna, who took her henceforth as his mother. And Ramakrishna also took as mother. And never have I known her to speak of her, our holy mother, save as my daughter-in-law. Say, if your son is married to If the daughter is married to somebody, who what you call? Son-in-law. Taito. So always she used to talk about Ma Saroda, not Saroda. She used to say, my Boma, daughter-in-law. So my son and son's wife. So the relationship, even for mother also, was so following the same tradition. My son, son's wife. Not Holy Mother. She is not talking about that. So I say, and never have I known her to speak of our Holy Mother, save as my daughter-in-law. Quote ends. There is no one more human representation of divine love that is not the Kanta or Madhura Bhava. He's talking about the last one, the sweet mood of love. That is the God is my beloved. Kanta Bhav, sweet nature, and Lord as the beloved. Page 144. This is based on the highest expression of love in this world, and it is the strongest tie of love known among mankind. In this sweet representation of divine love, God is our husband. We are all women. There is but one man, and that is He, our beloved. So this is the idea that there is no one but only God, and He is my husband. So this is a Vrindavan. If you go even, they all say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe means Radha is the beloved of Krishna. She used to think God, Radha used to think God is my beloved. So all the devotees in Vrindavan, when they meet each other, they say, "Oh Radha, how are you?" Another addressing, "Oh Radha." There is no man and woman. All women are women, but man also think that I am Radha. I am a lover of Krishna. So even that is the practice. Even if we go, we can find that type of interaction they do it there. And then there is a story. There is a story of a woman saint. Her name is Mirabai. You have heard about Mirabai's name. Mirabai was a saint. And this Mirabai loved Krishna. How? Krishna is my husband. But as it happens, she was born she was a queen, and she was married to the Rajput king. But she renounced her husband and kingdom, went to Vrindavan. It's a very difficult area. You are born in a princely family, and you are the princess. But he's married to a man, but he thinks, no, this is not my husband. My husband is Lord Krishna. And which husband will like that? You got married and you love Krishna and not me. But anyhow, so she has to go through so much of suffering because of her love for Krishna. But Krishna was her beloved. And now what happened? He left everything and went to Vrindavan. Though she was a queen, married to a Rajput king, but she renounced her husband and kingdom and went to holy land Vrindavan. At that time, another saint was also living in Vrindavan. She was Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Sanatana Goswami. His Sri Chaitanya's disciple. He was a very highly developed spiritual soul. Day and night repeating the Lord's name. An illumined person. And he's a monk. But this Mirabai went and wanted to see. Wanted to see who? Wanted to see that holy man. And when he went, he expected that the holy man he will see, but he said, no, I'm a man, I'm a monk. I should not see a woman. strict, austere monastic tradition, they keep this separation. And that's very true. Sri Chaitanya, because he was a monk, he maintained that for teaching the world, that a monk should be away from a woman, because you may not keep that pure spirit. There is a chance of fall for that protection. So he says, Mirabai wished to visit the holy man, but the saint first refused. What he said, saying that he didn't want to see any woman. To that reply, Mirabai retorted, saying that she did not know that any man lived in Vrindavan except Krishna, her beloved. Mirabai said, "Oh, I didn't know. In this holy land of Vrindavan, is there any man? Only one man I know. He is my beloved Krishna. So all are we are her dasi. They call we are all to serve Krishna, maids. So hearing this, the holy man came running to meet this great saint Mirabai. That means he understood, oh, it is a mistake that I don't see a woman. Where is woman? Woman in your mind. We are all lovers of God. So that spirit of attitude that I am the wife of Krishna, I am the lover of Krishna, this spiritual attitude. That is called the Kanta or Madhura Bhava. Madhura means sweet. Kanta means the wife. The love of gopis, the shepherdess for Krishna, is a well-known example of this sweet relationship. Speaking of them, Swami Vivekananda said, what he said, quote, when the madness of love comes in your brain, when you understand the blessed gopis, then you will understand what love is. When the whole world will vanish, when all other considerations will have died out, and when you will become pure hearted with no other aim, not even the search for truth, then and then alone will come to you the madness of that love, the strength and the power of that infinite love which the gopis had. That's upsake. That is the goal. When you have got that, you have got everything. So here he's saying it's a very highly pure state of love, indomitable love, as if a magnet is pulling a small iron filing. It has no way. It starts, it draws it. Bhakta, pure hearted, is drawn in the love of Krishna, God. So this madness, Swami Vivekananda was very much against this type of love, husband, wife, this, that. Because people with impure mind always take this attitude and fall into the downgrade journey. How pure mind should be that you feel that you have no idea of sex. You have no idea that you are a man at all. He is my beloved. That pure level, when it comes, then they can feel that attraction. Many people, not understanding, make a mess of spiritual life. That's why they mix sex with spirituality. But loving God and attraction of God goes according to Vedanta also. The Jaggavalka story we hear, what he said, no one loves the husband for husband, but for the Atman. Yeah, here Atman you replace by Krishna. Atman is Krishna. So you love, because of Krishna you love everything, and Krishna is everywhere. Not that it is only here. When it is only here, it is called Maya. Because that is, you are having some attachment there. When it is everywhere, my beloved Krishna is everyone. Huh? So you can love everyone, and that love becomes pure without expectation. We must remember 145, page 145. We must remember in this connection that although the pleasure derived from gratification of the sex urge is regarded as the supreme experience in the sense world, it is but a trivial and momentary. Why they say it is not the ordinary love? Because ordinary love, husband and wife, they have their love and they get into that enjoyment, and that gives a little joy. That's so tiny, so little. And it is no more, it's for a momentary. But this love, what we are talking about, this is infinite in magnitude and deep and profound in experience. So, Sri Ramakrishna tells us that the bliss derived from loving God as the beloved is so intense that is like sex pleasure, experienced to every single pore of the body, and that this bliss is eternal and infinite. It is Upanishad also declares now what is the joy of God realization. There they say. Here is a different language. Here is a language of love. When you get the supreme love, love like the gopis, you feel the joy. What this ordinary sensual joy, which is the climax expectation for all worldly people, so little, so momentary. In comparison to that, this joy can be felt in every pore of the body. Just imagine the number of pores in our body. How many pores will be in the skin? Billions, trillions, 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 no? That type, man, that multiplied by ordinary sensual joy, multiply by that. That is the joy we felt all over the body. So that's why, and it remains like that. It does not come and go away up till that mood. And then you come back to your ordinary state, then you come down from that level to your mundane level. And because of coming to the mundane level, you again react in a different way. But that joy, still the memory of that joy.
There is an average of 3 trillion of pores in a human body. 3 trillion.
3 trillions of pores in our body. Google says. See? 3 trillion times of joy, sensual joy, can be experienced by realization. My God. How poor people are deluded. We are all deluded. This is by his Maya. Well, everyone is trying to get away that 1 penny. $3 trillion can be achieved. People are running to get $1 and spending their whole energy and crying and weeping and slaving and doing all things are done to get this 1 penny joy. And here, in every pore of the body, 3 trillion times
But it may
of
happen
that
this
joy.
life or may not also happen this life.
Forget that. But if you have to get a good job, you have to work hard. No, you have to want to get a good job, high-paying job. You work so hard, so many years. You get a PhD. What is the need? You get a 10th grade examination and get some job. And you want to get a good job, then go for degree for master for PhD. Go for more. So you have to work hard. That's why. So to attain that, it needs so much sadhana. That's why it does not come to us. Everyone may say, if it is so, why don't you know it? Because we are not fit to have that. We are not preparing ourselves. That's the whole life spiritual track. So whole life renunciation is necessary. No. If one gets attracted, say, to work for $10 per hour, and you want $10 trillion per hour, compare that. $10 per hour, $10 trillion per hour. How much preparation you should do? How much well equipped you should be? So that is the point. Spiritual practice. That's why japa. That time you forget about the world. Even for our ordinary school examination, what happened? When your examination day comes, what do? You don't spend your time in watching TV. You don't talk are on your phone, hello, hello, hello to your friend. You renounce, 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 everything we renounce. This is regular affair of our life. And you want to God realization, that much deep renunciation, detachment, one pointed love for God, one pointed goal to achieve should be practiced. That's why sadhana. Huh? Questions are coming.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Let me see. Again, we shall, let me finish it quickly. Two questions. Acha. Let me finish it so that so we must remember this in this connection that although the pleasure derived from gratification of the sex are just regarded as the supreme experience in the sense world, in our world, it is but trivial and momentary. Sri Ramakrishna tells us the bliss derived from the loving God as the beloved is so intense that it is like sex pleasure experienced to every single pore of the body, and that is bliss in eternal and infinite. Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of purity, had experienced this sweet relationship, and whenever he would think of it or mention it, he would immediately be absorbed in the bliss of samadhi. Even thinking of that, because he has a once experience, your face will be flushing in joy. Uh, so much joy if you have tested any time. You know, people with little dream, good dream, when they remember, recall, mind becomes uplifted. So similarly, this is the experience. What the question? The quote from Gospel says, I see everything like a man with jaundiced eye. I see thee, O Lord, alone, everywhere, O Krishna, friend of the lowly, O eternal concert of my soul of Govinda. As he uttered the word eternal concert of my soul and Govinda, the master became absorbed in the deep samadhi. Other great mystics of the world have experienced their oneness with the beloved. The word, in the words of Plotinus, quote, Plotinus said, what he said, often when I awake out of bodily slumber and come to the realizing sense of myself, I retire from the world outside and give myself up to inward contemplation. Then I behold a wonderful beauty. I believe that I really belong to a higher and better world, and still I develop within me a glorious life and become one with Godhead. And by this means, I receive such an energy of life that I rise above all other things of even the intelligent world. And then must he experience who now beholds the absolute beauty in and for itself in all the purity, without corporal shape, freed from all bondage to space and time. And this, therefore, is the life of the gods and the divine and happy men, a liberation from all earthly concerns, a life unaccompanied by human pleasure. And there is the fight of the alone to the alone. So this is the experience of Plotinus he's talking about. In the Song of Solomon, he's quoting from mystics of the Western, yes, gave the example of the Eastern saints. Now he's giving the example of the Western saints. In the Song of Solomon, we find divine love described in its aspect as a sweet relationship. What is that? Quote, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Better than wine. Because of the savor of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore, do the virgins love thee. So it is like a human expression of love given for God. In the Dark Night, a poem of Saint John of the Cross, we read him how the lover is brought to the beloved and how a mystic marriage takes place. Upon my flowery breast, wholly for him and save himself for none, there did I give sweet rest to my beloved one. Could it be that John the Baptist had same relationship in mind when he spoke of Christ? Quote, John the Baptist said, "He that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice, that this my joy therefore is fulfilled." These are the different aspects of the divine love represented in human terms and in human language. But in reality, when the love for God arises in the heart of an aspect, that love is overwhelming and so intense that the devotee forgets this world and forgets all earthly ties and bonds. Then he quoted from Swami Vivekananda about this untying love. So, okay, so we can go to the question. So we'll read the verse number 67 next day. 67 verse will start with Bhakta Ekantino Mukha. Another verse which says, the highest class of devotee, Bhakta, are those who have one-pointed love, Ekantino Mukha, whose mind is focused only in one. And that means love for love's sake. Ekant, one-pointed love for God and for love's sake only. So we'll read it next day. Now we end here. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Panamastu. Now, sorry, this stream, which is Voice of Vedanta, was a little late to start. So we missed the what is called attendees here. There is nobody there. Okay, so now some questions have come. So I will read it first and try to respond to that. One question: we worship God and sing His praises. Do we do it because God is eager to receive worship and words of praise from us? Is it for our own spiritual sake? God does not need anything. What we do for our own purpose. Because to create devotion in us, that's why we worship God. What worship shall we do? There is a song by Rabindranath Tagore. Is adored by, or Tare Arati Kare Chandra Tapana. The sun and moon, they are like candles. They are waving the light for that great Lord. As we do in the evening vesper, wave a light. What is the light? The sun and moon, they are small lights, lamps. They only are rotating around to only to wave lamps to glorify His majesty. We do worship. God is everywhere. He does not depend on our worship. But we do worship so that our devotion grows day by day. Our attitude changes. That it is not we are worshipping a piece of wood, a piece of photo, or piece of statue. We are worshipping God Himself. So to bring this spiritual attitude, it is we do worship, we do pray. We pray. He does not care for His praise. So be what it matters, whether you praise or not. This earth created by Him is what? Not even a speck of dust in the cosmic creation of stars and galaxies. So, no, it is for our spiritual growth. We take these measures. I want to devote my life to spiritual pursuit. I have no particular interest in the institution of marriage. At the same time, I have no disdain for it either. Should I renounce or be a householder? This is a very good question. The spirituality, as we learn, is loving God. You can love God being married, of course. You can love God remaining free from marriage and entanglement, and loving God becomes a little easier, maybe if there is an obstacle. So both are the ways, the pravitti and nivritti, they call in Indian tradition. So this going to the goal of God realization is possible by loving God, seeing God everywhere. It can be done leading an ideal household life or leading ideal monastic life. But the question is that monastic life gives little, probably some more opportunity because you have plenty of time. Your whole day you work a lot, you will be convinced that you are not working for anyone, but you are doing not working for it. In a household life, what happens? You think that, oh, I am working for my son's education. I have to collect money, that's why I am working because I will have to feed my child. I am in the job. But here, when in monastic life, when one joins, he is doing only for God, even consciously or unconsciously. If you ask for whom you are working, your only boss is God. So it is easier in that respect. But what will suit, we cannot say.
But
It is, we cannot say what is easy for what, depending on the tendency of the person. So let the tendency guide, you are the best judge, see which way you will be comfortable to think of God day and night, and which path will be suited to your spiritual journey. So you should have to select that, yes.
someone told me the rule of thumb in this kind of selection, if you have the doubt in mind that whether I should get married or not,
Don't
the answer is of course.
get married.
Yes. And if the doubt is coming whether I should become a monk or not, the answer is never. So
Yeah.
the monk is that no doubt should
That's
come.
why, that's no, it is, the question is that doubt will come because it is a decision. Tendency will force you. That's the point. Main thing is our tendency. What is predominant tendency? There will be always two will be there. Shall I be a monk? Shall I be a householder? As Swami Vivekananda says, each is great in his own place. To be an ideal householder is very difficult. To be an ideal monk, very difficult. So both are paths which will suit to whom, you know, your mental inclination will guide it. But it is a thumb rule, as just we heard, that if you have a doubt in your mind, then even in common parlance they say, shall I eat or shall I not? Don't eat. If your mind is in dilemma, shall I go or not go? Don't go. Huh? That means the urge is not strong yet to overcome the other thought. Shall I go or shall I not go? That means it is a balance. It matters little if I go this way, it matters little if I go that way. But no, when urge is strong, what you say? Oh, I'll have to go. Time is up. I'll have to go. That's your urge. So I think it is to be mainly the same question we have discussed. Both are paths. You need not have to think that householder path is lower and monastic path is higher. If you are an ideal monastic, that's harder. If you want to be ideal devotee, that's harder. But for inclination wise, you like to take vegetarian food or you like to have non-veg food. It's your choice, your tendency. You will relish one type of food naturally. So what is the naturalness? So we'll have to judge our mind and analyze our mind, which being given these two choices, I can do this and I can do that. Then what will be my preference. I will, what my heart speaks. So it is mostly to talk to God who is in your heart and tell, oh Lord, what shall I do? Shall I go this way? Shall I go that? Think and think and think, and pros and cons. If I become like this, how much helpful it will be. If I be like this, what will be. So these are analyze and watch your own mind, then it will be easy for you. And for further discussion, you can call me in our phone, in our ashrama phone, then we can talk about it, my personal question. Oma, again Swarnendu is Saha?
Yeah, the
Same,
one.
same Swarnendu. Gopis loved Krishna to such an extent that they didn't even care for their own salvation. But is not it because all of them were great sages in their previous lives and already attained moksha? Right, that is the point. We are talking of the love of gopis. It is not our love. What love we have for God? Huh? If we have loved God, can we sleep whole night? Sleep will be no interesting. Thinking of God will give you so much joy. Ramakrishna, look at that. In the description of Ramakrishna's night, while many devotees are staying, young boys, Ramakrishna could not sleep. After just lying down for a few, maybe minutes, half an hour or so, or 1 hour, wakes up and chanting the name of the Lord, saluting here, singing some song. Whole night it goes away. I have seen sadhus also. That whole night is on the rosary. Huh? Whole night because I was sick that time in one place in Vrindavan center. And that sadhu was living next door to me because I was sick. And the Swami is coming every half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, asking for, oh, how are you feeling? Are you okay? And but in his hand, I see the rosary. He's counting the rosary. No? Why shall you give up your sleep and do the rosary whole night? No one can force you. You say, oh, my body is tired, I am sleeping. Because you have no love for God. He has love so much developed for God. Sleep is secondary. Taking the name gives him the joy. I have seen that. I was moved to see because I was crying all the time because the excruciating pain was with me the whole night. I could not sleep, and I was giving some. It's a hospital center, so they gave in the residential quarter some drip. What you call IV. So I am taking IV and I am lying down and I'm crying, and not crying means I am really in deep pain. Okay, I am doing that. But he is so full of love coming to see me, and what I see, he is not misusing the time. He used whole night he came about several times, every half an hour or 45 minutes. That means where he is not sleeping. How he will come every 45 minutes to see me? And whenever he comes with the rosary and repeating the name. No? Does he not have sleep? How can he give up sleep? He's not forcefully giving up the sleep. But sleep is leaving him because he has love for God so much and he finds so much joy in repeating the name. We have not developed that. So that's the point. Yes, these are previous lives, great yogis, rishis, those who become the gopis in the Vrindavan. True, they are not ordinary people. Okay, next question. Did Ramakrishna ask his disciples not to try Madhura or feeling of the lovers towards God since it is very difficult to follow? Yes. Our monastic attitude is only Shanta Bhava. We don't, in the monastery, monks have in general all over India, monastics are all think God as that all pervading Satchidananda consciousness. Maybe devotionally, maybe God is the Lord, I am the servant. This attitude also, maybe, but not, they don't take this attitude of Madhura Bhavana. And then another question, is the love between guru and disciple even higher than mother-child love as it involves absolutely no expectation? If so, why is not it listed as a part of the five moods towards God? Yes, guru and disciple relationship is pure love. It is like mother and child. But in our tradition, guru is very much given emphasis in all spiritual practices in Indian tradition. Guru is must. Even Vedanta, they say Vedanta Guru. Patanjali, they will have Yogi Guru. eh? Devotees, the devotee Guru. Guru is Guru. But who is Guru? In our tradition, Ramakrishna gave a very good example. We don't inculcate Guru to be worshipped or Guru to be more every day to think of Guru. We have to think of God. Guru is like a matchmaker, Ramakrishna said. Guru connects with the devotee, and this is your God. Okay, this is your relationship. This is the way you think of Guru, God. This is the way you repeat the mantra. This is the way you live the whole day. Huh? But Guru gets out. But we respect Guru like a mother. Why mother? Mother we say because mother loves a child, baby, with no expectation. So a real genuine Guru will not expect anything from the disciple other than that the disciple become established in spiritual joy, bliss. Not anything mundane or material. He's not expecting. That's the worldly Guru. But real genuine Guru will only want that you become a better devotee of God. You become a better lover of God. You become established in your spiritual journey and you attain to the full brightness of illumination. So that is why it is not mentioned with the five moods. But you can find that in the five moods, one mood can be thought of. Therefore, we don't think that Guru is to be thought to relationship. Don't bring Guru to relationship. Real Guru is God. So love God. Create relationship with Him. If you do with the Guru, then there is a risk also. Human aspect may come in between. Respect Him, because we respect if we get anything. But He who has given me and shown me the path for God realization, who will be more respectable than that. That's why we love and respect our Gurus. But we need not have to set a relationship other than loving respect. And sometimes it is a thing, Guru is not the man, Guru the spirit. The question, how to practice Shanta Bhava from form of devotion. Shanta Bhava form means, you see, God is Sarvam Ishara Sarvabhutanam Hriddese Arjuna Tishtati. Think, Arjuna, oh Arjuna, Ishara, God, resides in the heart of all. Think this way. Whenever you think, we see the outside face, outside person. But you look little deeper and see who is in the heart of all. One person is seated in the heart of all. One consciousness is behind everyone's mind. So love that. So see the same. That is why simply we say, see Christ everywhere. See Krishna in everywhere. Only costumes are different. So this type of practice can be done. That I am loving my child. Why? No, not as child, but Krishna is there. Or my beloved Lord is there. I love my father. Why I am loving? Because that same consciousness of beloved Lord is there in my father, in my mother, in my friend, in my relations. So seeing God everywhere and loving, that is the way of Santo Bhav, Shanta. That means you don't get attached to anything. When you forget God and love someone, then our love goes to the person. And person to person love is always not pure. There will be some rubbing, there will be some expectation, there will be some, what you call, some frustration. But if you love God, no frustration. You didn't love the person, you love who is inside the person. So that attitude can be practiced by anyone. Or simply you can say, if you are a lover of Krishna, try to see Krishna in everyone, and love them. Or you are a mother's worship. You think that mother is in the heart of all. Okay, think that mother, and that whatever relationship you do, even someone loves you, someone hates you, you see that is the mother is there, mother is there, mother is there. So this is the attitude we can keep. Anyone can keep. Okay. So thank you all, and then we shall see you again after some time, 7:30 in our Shanti Gita class. Okay. Thank you all. No one came here.